On today's vlog, I'm going to be cooking, and I must admit, I am not a cook by any stretch of the imagination. You'll probably see as these vlogs go on whenever I decide to cook on camera. So today I'm going to be doing a beef and chicken bhuna, and I'm going to be following the recipe that's on the BBC Good Food app. I don't know if you can see that. And it's a recipe by Afia Begum. Hope I've pronounced that correctly. It is just for a beef bhuna, but I'm going to do it half beef, half chicken. So enough of me talking, on with the cooking. It says to chop the onions. How difficult can that be? There's probably an easier way to chop onions, but yeah. Well, I mentioned I don't cook. Hopefully my microphone reaches to the bin, otherwise the camera would have toppled. Okay, time to chop the onions. There's a real fancy way of doing this I've seen on TV, but I have no idea how to do it. Yep, caught myself. But I'll soldier on through. No, I won't. So that's the onions done. Next up is to chop the meat into cubes. Half a kilo of braising steak. I think it's braising steak. Yeah, something like that. Or a joint. It's meat. Just taking the layer of fat off. So in total there will be a kilogram of the protein between the beef and the chicken. So first we'll go with 4 cardamom pods. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 to 4 bay leaves. 1, 2, 3. I'll go with 3. And then cinnamon sticks. So it's 3 cinnamon sticks. It just so happens I've got 3 left. That was lucky. So I'll set those aside and start with the next set of spices. 1.5 teaspoons of grated ginger. Looks about right. 1.5 teaspoons of crushed garlic, which is about 3 cloves according to this. Crikey, that's a decent size one. Five-second rule. Right, so it looks so the ginger and garlic, they're going separately too. Next, 2 teaspoons of hot curry powder. 1 teaspoon of garam masala, 1 teaspoon of ground coriander. You'll notice a trend here. I get my spices from Morrison's. The recipe asks for 1 teaspoon of Kashmiri chili powder. I don't have that, so that will have to do. Hot chili powder. And I suppose, since I don't have Kashmiri, I could just do 2 teaspoons of this. Well, nearly 2 teaspoons. And finally for the spices, the turmeric. 1 teaspoon. See, I've cooked this, I've tried a beef bhuna and a chicken bhuna via this recipe, and it has been fantastic. I think that is all for the prep. I think we've got everything. So now we'll move to the other end of the kitchen. So next we need to do 100 ml of oil. Right, on a high heat. Right, this is in the recipe to gently heat the oil in a saucepan. So maybe high heat wasn't the best way to go. And I'll be adding the cardamom, bay leaves, cinnamon sticks. I haven't got any fenugreek, no idea what that is, but Morrison's never have it. And then fry them for a few minutes until the aromas are released. So in go the cinnamon sticks, bay leaves, and the cardamom pods. It says fry for a few minutes. So next we're going to be adding the onions, and we brown them over a high heat for 10 to 15 minutes, stirring occasionally. Assuming I need something to stir with, and the camera kit is in front of the drawers. That's proper good planning by me. Right, what did I do with the onions? So I've just changed the heat up to high. I've had to put the extractor fan on, so I hope you can hear me. So that is now 10 to 15 minutes. Alexa, remind me in 15 minutes.
What's the reminder for?
Onions.
Okay, I'll remind you in 15 minutes. By the way, when your reminder rings, you can snooze it by saying, remind me again in 15 minutes.
I love Alexa. Going to turn the heat down a bit on that. Now, I'm not sure if those onions are brown or burnt. I'm going to go with brown. Alexa, how long's left?
There are no timers set.
Okay. Alexa, how long am my reminder?
Paul, here is your upcoming reminder. Onions, today at 5:52 p.m.
What? Hey? I'm sure I asked for a countdown timer. Right, I'm going to go with executive decision. Enough time's passed. And I'm still classing those as brown rather than burnt. It's only me eating them. So now it's time to add the beef, the chicken, along with the ginger and the garlic. Now, because I have quite a cheap pan that I bought about a week ago, 2 weeks, these handles get as hot as the sun. Right, so the instructions or recipe. So I'm frying the meat until it's browned on all sides, about 10 minutes. Okay. And after 10 minutes, I stir in 1.5 teaspoons of salt, followed by the remaining spices. Oh, I need to chop the tomatoes. It does say 2 tomatoes quartered. I should really be keeping an eye on the time because I don't exactly trust Alexa. Great.
What do you want today?
I wasn't talking to you, Alexa. I don't trust you.
Sorry, I didn't understand that.
No, you didn't, did you? So now I'm going to add all the remaining spices, including the salt. It says to mix well. Apparently I need to add the tomatoes as well, which I will go and grab. Right, now I need to cover. Reduce the heat to low to medium, so I'll put it on number 3 on mine, and heat for about 5 minutes. Alexa, countdown timer, 5 minutes.
5 minutes, starting now.
Okay, you've heard her. She's said she's counting down. Let us see. That is looking good. Thank you, Alexa. Stop. Alexa, stop. It's looking very nice. Right, what's next? Mix the bhuna, cover again, and simmer over a low heat for a further 1 to 1.5 hours until the beef is tender. The timing depends on the size of the beef pieces. If the curry begins to look a little dry while cooking, top up with water. Okie dokie. So if I drop that down to 2. I think I do need to be careful because when I did it last time with chicken rather than beef, there was a lot of stickage to the bottom of the pan, i.e. burny stuff. Alexa, countdown timer, 1 hour.
Timer for how long?
1 hour.
1 hour, starting now.
Alexa, how long's left?
You have 5 minutes and 50 seconds left on your 1 hour timer.
Excellent. I just thought I would recap on the ingredients and the instructions. I should have really brought my iPad for this. Bear with. Okay, so the ingredients, and I'll read via the BBC Good Fooder. It's a recipe by Afia Begum. The ingredients are 100 ml of vegetable oil, 4 cardamom pods, 3 to 4 bay leaves, 3 cinnamon sticks, pinch of fenugreek seeds or methi seeds, never been able to find any of those, 3 medium onions. This is for the beef bhuna, so just change how you see fit. Is 1 kilo of braising or stewing steak cut into bite-sized pieces, 1.5 teaspoons of grated ginger, plus a few thin slices to serve, 1.5 teaspoons of garlic, which is about 3 cloves, 2 teaspoons of hot curry powder. It says here we use hot Madras curry powder, a teaspoon of garam masala, a teaspoon of ground coriander, a teaspoon of ground cumin, a teaspoon of Kashmiri chili powder, which is actually optional, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 2 tomatoes quartered, and then to serve fresh coriander leaves, which I've not bothered with. The instructions are: gently heat the oil in a saucepan, add the cardamom, bay leaves, cinnamon sticks and fenugreek, and fry for a few minutes until the aromas are released. Add in the onions and brown over a high heat for 10 to 15 minutes, stirring occasionally. Step 2 is to add in the beef along with the ginger and garlic. Fry until the meat is browned on all sides, which should take about 10 minutes. Stir in 1.5 teaspoons of salt, which really should be in the ingredients, followed by the rest of the spices. Mix well and add in the tomatoes. Cover and cook over a low-medium heat for about 5 minutes or until the tomatoes are soft. Step 3, mix the bhuna, cover again and simmer on low heat for a further 1 to 1.5 hours until the beef is tender. The timing does depend on the size of the beef pieces. If the curry begins to look a little dry, if the curry looks to be a little dry whilst cooking, top up with water. Step 4 of 4, pour in a little water to loosen the curry. How much is up to you. The more you add, the thinner the sauce will be. Boil for 7 to 10 minutes, then scatter over the coriander and sliced ginger and serve immediately. And this recipe serves 6, which is ideal for me because I'm single, so I can this is a batch cook for me. So once it's all cooled, I'll batch it up and put it in the freezer. Go to the BBC Good Food app, sign up. I think at the minute it's when you sign up it's 3 months free. I can't remember what the subscription is, but it's only not that expensive. So I'll put in a link for the BBC Good Food website. Just download the app. I think you get 3 months free if you sign up. It's not expensive to follow, and there's tons of ingredients. Right, that's Alexa saying that now ready. Alexa has just given me the 1 hour warning. As you recall, this.
I don't know that.
So the recipe says between 1 and 1 hour. So we'll just see how it's doing after 1 hour. Well, that is looking fantastic. I think it's probably going to need another 15 minutes, more than likely. Hot, 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 hot. Use the glove. Alexa, countdown timer, 15 minutes.
15 minutes, starting now.
So in terms of rice, I'm going to use Tilda Pure Basmati. So it's 60 grams of rice per person in a large pan of boiling water. Cook on medium heat for 10 to 12 minutes. Drain well, cover and stand for 3 minutes. Then lightly fork through the grains and serve. How difficult can that be? Alexa, how long's left?
You have 5 minutes and 30 seconds left on the 15-minute timer.
So we're at 1 hour and 25. The water is boiling, so it's ready for the rice. Okay, let's put the rice in. And that should take about 10 to 12 minutes. And it says medium heat, so I'll drop the temperature down. I'll turn the heat off on the bhuna. Now it's just a case of waiting for the rice. So the rice is boiled. I've let it rest for 3 minutes, like the instructions said. So it's now time to dish up. Done.